guys, it's Noelle. If you're anything like me, you can totally appreciate a good notebook because nothing beats the feeling of breaking in those crisp new pages. Odds are you selected a few of your favorite notebooks based on their cool covers, but there are a ton of notebooks out there stacked with useful and customizable features and organizational tools. And I'm gonna show you them all in this video. But before I do, definitely subscribe to 17's YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future organizational tips and tricks. All right, let's go. First, I'm gonna show you some super techie notebooks that are gonna change the way you take notes forever. The first notebook that I wanna show you is the Rocketbook Everlast. There are only 36 usable pages in the Rocketbook, but that's because you can erase your notes after you're done with them. So here's how it works. First, you need to get some Pilot friction pens. These pens are the only pens that can be erased off of the Rocketbook pages. Secondly, you have to set up your organizational system. On the inside cover, there's a series of icons. And before you start writing in your notebook, you should give each one of those icons a subject. I listed out my school courses, assuming that I would be using this notebook for school. Once you figure out what icon belongs to each subject, you can start taking notes. As an example, I wrote down some notes from my homecoming bonfire committee meeting. Once you write down the notes, all you have to do is X out the icon that corresponds to the subject you assigned it at the beginning of the notebook. A reusable notebook sounds super cool, but what's the point of taking notes if you're just gonna erase them and not be able to keep track of them? Well, luckily, the Everlast comes with an app that has an organizational system in it. When you open the app, you'll be able to set up where you want all your notes to be sent. I like Google Drive, so I'm gonna set mine up to send all my notes to a folder in my Google Drive account. Now all you have to do is take a scan of your notes using your phone, and then voila, the notes appear in your Google Drive. Now that my notes have been uploaded to Google Drive, I can erase the notes and not have to worry about them ever again. So now my notebook is clean, but my notes are still living on in the cloud. Do you not want a Rocketbook now? What's also awesome about Rocketbook is that they also carry two other notebooks that are reusable. The other Rocketbook notebook that I want to show you is the Rocketbook Color. The Color is pretty much the same thing as the Everlast, only it's for coloring and drawing. Instead of using Pilot friction pens, you use Crayola dry erase markers to draw and color on the notebook. Then, once you save the drawings to your app, you can erase it with a wet cloth, just like you did in the Everlast. What's also cool about this notebook is the different types of paper included in it. It has plain white paper, dotted paper, and lined paper at the back. If you are wondering why these notebooks have "do not put this in the microwave" at the bottom, there's a good reason for that. Rocketbook carries a third notebook called the Wave, and unlike the other two notebooks, the way that you erase the ink off of this notebook is by putting it in the microwave and just heating it up for a few minutes. The next notebook that I'm going to show you is actually more of a partnership because the LiveScribe notebook needs to go with a LiveScribe pen. What's super cool about the Echo Smart Pen is that when it's working together with a LiveScribe notebook, it is like insane what this pen can do. First of all, on the front cover of your notebook, there's a calculator section. All you have to do is tap the numbers on the front cover like it's an actual calculator, and then the pen will give you the answer. The notebook and the pen work together as this super smart system. It even calculates the square root of numbers. As cool as the fact that this notebook has a calculator built into the cover is, the coolest part about this pen and notebook together, by far, is that the pen records your notes in real time so that they can be transferred to your computer instantly when you get home. What's even cooler than that is that the pen also records the audio in the room as you're taking the notes, so that when you transfer them to your computer later, it can play exactly what your teacher was saying when you were taking those notes. That is so cool. So let me show you how it works. So when I tap on the notes, what I'm saying right now will play from the speaker built into the pen.
That is so cool.
Is that not cool? Is that not cool? The Echo Smart Pen comes with super cool software called Echo Desktop that you should download onto your computer This software will instantly let you upload your notes from your pen to your computer. It's really simple. All you have to do is plug the pen into your computer using a micro USB cord, and boom, your notes pop right up on the screen. And what's cool is that all the features that you had in your notebook are also on Echo Desktop. Just like I showed you my super smart pen replaying That Is So Cool, my computer will do the same thing.
That is so cool.
You can use this so many different ways in class, particularly when you're studying for a test. Do you ever turn back to a certain page in your notes and look at a particular section and think to yourself, like, I have no clue what was going on, what I meant by this. I wish I could go back in time and hear my teacher say whatever they were saying at this moment again. Well, with this pen, you can record your lecture while taking your notes if your teacher approves. And then when you're studying, all you have to do is turn to the page of your notes that you recorded, click on the section that's confusing you, and you hear your teacher saying it all over again. So as you can see, I think the Echo Smart Pen is beyond cool. The next notebook that I want to show you is the Staples Arc. What makes the Staples Arc different from every other notebook is that the pages aren't stuck in one place. What that means is that you can move pages from one place to another in the notebook, and you can even add more pages if you run out, or you can remove pages and put them aside for safekeeping and then add them back in when you decide you made the wrong decision and you actually wanted that page in your notebook. When you open the Arc notebook, the side has a folder and 3 places to put business cards or any kind of cards that you want to keep with you. Then the first page has room to put your name and contact information. Once you get into the notebook, there are tons of ways to customize it, particularly adding dividers. Without dividers, it's a 1-subject notebook. But if you're actually in need of a 3-subject notebook, all you have to do is add a few dividers and boom, you've got a 3-subject notebook. What's even cooler about this notebook is that it never gets old. If you ever run out of paper, all you have to do is run to Staples and get another pack and stick it in there. And if you're feeling some type of way about the idea of having to go to Staples and buy more and more and more of this Arc paper, don't, because Staples actually sells a hole punch that you can just hole punch regular 8x11 paper and stick it in your notebook if you're sick of going out and buying the packs. So that's pretty cool too. The next notebook that I definitely have to get on your radar is the Pop-In Double Booked collection. When you first look at the Double Booked notebook, it kind of just looks like a regular notebook with an elastic band to secure it. But when you open it, you'll realize that there's something different about it. There's no paper in it, but don't worry. There is paper coming. The Double Booked collection has 4 different types of notebooks that fit into this folio. So what's really cool about this system is that you can mix and match whatever notebook you want in your folio. In mine, on the left side, I put the green notebook with blank pages so that I can do whatever type of doodles that I want. I decided to, take it back and draw a pretty classic doodle. I think you'll recognize it. It's the quintessential middle school doodle. And then on the right side, I put the navy dot grid notebook so that I can take notes and write down to-do lists and tasks and maybe even bullet journal in it, because I love bullet journaling. When you finish putting in your notebooks, you should get a pop-in pen that fits right into the pen holder on the right side. And then you have a notebook system that's perfect for you. The next notebook that I'm going to show you looks pretty standard, but inside it's packed with a ton of features that you need this year. Behold, the standard issue notebook number 3. I got this notebook from Paper Source. It looks kind of like a test booklet that you would get at school when you're gonna write an essay during a test, which I know is actually kind of scary and makes you not want this notebook, but please give it a chance. When you open the notebook, it has a ton of awesome charts on it that will help you out. The notebook has a stencil that helps you create perfect icons and signifiers, and then it has a place to put a custom key for use of the notebook in the future. There's a chart that tells you what time it is around the world. Then it has a place to write all your personal information and a time zone map. If you've ever struggled at all with numbers in subjects like math or science, you're gonna love this next chart. It has a handy conversion chart that helps you convert things like temperature and speed. It also has this really cool equivalence chart so that if you're ever in like home ec class and quickly have to figure out how many cups are in a quart, just check out your equivalence chart. And it also has fractional equivalents so that you can convert fractions into decimals easily. At the back of the notebook, there's a running list of all of the holidays, and thank goodness you have this chart, because now when anybody comes up to you asking when Grandparents' Day falls in 3 years, just check the chart. September 12th, 2021, Grandparents' Day. And then the last page of the notebook has an important dates chart so that you can keep track of events that might be coming up far, far down the line, and you just like mark it down in here so that you don't forget. The notebook also comes with 3 markers so that you can mark off important pages. The notebook page layout is pretty simple, but it's also really, really useful. At the top of every page, the months of the year are listed out with the days of the year underneath, so that you can just circle what day it is. And then every page has a section to write down the subject of whatever's on that page and check boxes running down the entire side of the page so that you can make running to-do lists, tasks, and mark down when you complete them. The next notebook that I'm gonna show you is something that you might already have but didn't think to use as a notebook, and that's a tablet and a stylus. I'm using my iPad to demonstrate this, but you can use any tablet that has a notebook or drawing app in the App Store. On my iPad, I use an app called Textilus to write notes using a stylus. In it, you're able to create documents called ink notes, and all you have to do is use your stylus to write. After that, you're able to save your notes into different folders and notebooks depending on what subject you were taking notes about. If you're super tech savvy, you can probably find a million different apps that are great to take notes on a tablet using a stylus. But my favorites are Textilus and Google Keep. The next notebook that I want to show you is honestly one that I just saw on the day that I was about to film this video, and I just had to include it. It's the Magic Sequin Notebook. I got this notebook at Paper Source. So you're probably wondering why I had to include a black sequin journal. Well, the cover transforms. Inside the notebook is just regular lined paper, but with a cover like this, how can you not have this notebook? How? You're welcome. That's it. I hope this video helps you figure out how you're gonna upgrade your notebook game this year. Now definitely subscribe to 17's YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future organizational tips and tricks. See you next time.